Okay, now that we have seen how to create a thread, let's start with a little bit of more advanced concepts where we will learn about sleep, join, is alive. So before that, let me just show you how to set the name of a thread. In this for this thread, you say get name because so the thread actually gave us the whenever your Java program creates a new thread, it gives it the name like thread hyphen 0 thread hyphen 1, but let's just give it a little more meaningful name. To do that, you can pass that in a constructor. You say second thread. This is the name of the second thread that you are about to start. Similarly, you can also change the name of the name of the main thread. To do that, first you get the thread reference. The way we get our thread reference is exactly like this. All you have to do is say thread dot current thread. This is the way you get the thread reference. Now you have a thread reference and you can do anything using this thread, including your set name. You can do a set name. I say this main thread. Now if I run this program, you will see the name has changed to main thread, and then there is second thread. So I can also push this a little forward, a little above this, so that main thread and the second thread start running almost at the same time. Okay. Uh, so I just want to tell you that at this point of time, the which thread runs and in what order is completely decided by the operating system, and hence you will see there is main thread, second thread, main thread, there is second thread, there is main thread 2, second thread, right? So second thread runs twice. Now, how all these threads are scheduled to run the processor is completely up to the operating system, and we don't have any sort of control over it. Okay. Uh, Also, you can do more things by using a thread reference. You can say main thread dot. In this, you can say many things like destroy, get ID, get name, get priorities. If these things are set, get thread group, hash code that is common to every object, join. These are some of the things that we are going to look at, but you can do a lot of things by using a thread reference. Let's start with one of the things that you can actually do with the current thread is put it to sleep. So there is no real use case for making your thread sleep, just like that. But when you call, let's say, thread dot sleep, and in the thread dot sleep you specify a time in millisecond, this makes your thread go to sleep. So this thread dot sleep is generally not used in the production, but we use this thread dot sleep to simulate the behavior, the preemptive behavior of the thread. When I say thread dot sleep, this current thread goes to sleep. So that is kind of a simulation of what the operating system does with your threads, meaning the operating system can at any point of time stop your thread from executing. That essentially means the thread has actually gone to sleep. Though technically it might be different, but that is what it means. So we simulate many operating system function, the preemptive operating system functionality, by using thread.sleep. So when you say thread.sleep, you have to, so you are telling the thread to sleep for 10 milliseconds. Whenever that happens, you have to supply a you have to add a try catch, meaning this catch you are catching for interrupted exception. In plain English, you have to, if your thread is sleeping, you have to define, if somebody wakes up your thread, what should your thread do? Now If another thread interrupts your thread while it is sleeping, there is an exception thrown that is called interrupted exception. At this point, you have to tell if the interrupted exception is thrown, meaning this thread is interrupted, what do you want to do? In the current context, I just say return because I don't want to do many more things with it. I simply say I don't want to do anything, but I just want to return. If I run this program, now everything will be executed. So there will be a sleep, there will be a delay of 10 seconds. The thread, the system dot print will print whatever it wants, and then there will be a thread. The moment the reason you didn't notice it is the sleep interval is very, very small. That's about the sleep. Now there is another thing called join. Let's say I have two threads running, one is main thread and one is second thread. I want the main thread to wait till the time second thread is finished. So this kind of a situation may occur in your application program where you don't want the main thread to exit unless the other threads have exited. Meaning in the main function, in the main method, you are doing many cleanups, or main method is doing many important things, and you have to wait till the other threads are done with their execution so that you get to do the cleanups in the main thread. So let's see how a thread waits for another thread to finish. For main thread to wait till the time second thread finishes, all you have to do is you have to say thread1 dot join. The moment you do this, now thread1 dot join also throws an interrupted exception if the join is interrupted. The moment you do this, this thread, the current thread, meaning the main thread, is waiting for the thread 1 to finish. It's very important to understand this. Here, whose execution is suspended? The main thread's execution is suspended, and the main thread is waiting for the thread 1 to finish. Only then it starts running. Let's now see this, how this works. I just say, right? So in this case, if you see, first all the second thread gets finished, or the second thread completely finished running, and then the main thread starts running. So that is called thread.join. You can use join. So join is essentially suspends the current thread, and it joins, and it starts executing only when the thread upon which join is invoked is finished. So let's also examine is alive. So you can actually use is alive to test. So now before saying join, you should always check whether the thread 1 is still alive, because if the thread 1 is not alive and you are calling join, it doesn't do anything for you. So in that case, you just check whether if thread 1 is alive, then you say thread.join. So if I run this should run perfectly fine.